started from the top and now we here. We started from the top,
but now the whole hood's right
we
here.
the original, literal, biblical, we the pinnacle, physical.
Peace, King. Peace. Now, King, you've been doing your thing with this whole Black Lives Matter movement, being on the ground. Tell us what you feel about what's going on right here in Oakland with Oscar Grant Memorial.
Man, I feel like really the movement around getting justice for Oscar Grant was really the catalyst for what we see what's happening right now. It's just like the rest of us took a little bit more time to get it, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that, you know, y'all have people in the street, you know what I'm saying? It was, of course, a murder on video. You know, y'all put the mayor and the DA, got them up out of there, you know what I'm saying? And actually ended up getting the first officer in the history of California indicted, even though we should have got more.
Yes.
And it was interesting. This was without really, you know, it wasn't like Al Sharpton and all them people were here. You know what I'm saying? It was like a Bay Area led, produced movement to get justice, and then leading to the actual movie Fruitvale Station. Now the movie don't happen if the movement didn't come first, and so I feel like that's
sparked the flame.
Exactly. So to me, that's a blueprint for what's happening in Ferguson, what's happening in New York. You know what I'm saying? What's happening in Pittsburgh. We actually had, you know, Uncle Bobby come to Pittsburgh and talk about some of the things that they did, and we're actually studying and looking at it and how we can apply it nationally. So to me, man, Oakland was the catalyst in my generation's time with Oscar Grant's death in terms of how we begin to deal with this problem that's now reaching like epidemic proportions. You know?
Now, when you talked about leadership, I see you and other brothers out there on the field as this new leadership, and no one's kind of identified them as the one leader, and I think that's a good thing because there's leaders in all type of ground level. What do you feel like the old leadership? You just said Al Sharpton. How do you feel about those? Are you feeling like you have to be kind of on the edge with them, or are you embracing what they're doing and bringing to the table?
I mean, I think, you know, they made a sacrifice. I mean, Al Sharpton serves a purpose, you know what I'm saying? He brings media attention to these different cases, you know what I'm saying? I've met Al Sharpton, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I feel like he also has limitations, you know what I'm saying? Because he operates a lot of times like a politician, in the sense that he can't maybe say things. I mean, he might want to say them, I don't know him that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But he don't speak as strong. I feel like, you know, us, the young generation coming up, we gonna speak strong. We don't have those limitations.
Exactly.
We're not trying to get elected to no office.
Yeah. We're not gonna say it's sweet.
We're not trying to get those shows.
Most definitely.
If MSNBC call me or not call me, I'm gonna do my thing.
No doubt.
And then the reality, and we might use language, you know, we unrefined, we unpolished. You know, I work with Harry Belafonte, man.
Yeah, I seen that quote that that quote you had put out there talking about something. I forget, I don't know what it was, but Harry Belafonte, I forgot.
But what's dope about him, I mean, he comes from the school of Paul Robeson.
Okay.
He always tells us the artists are the gatekeepers for truth.
Okay, there he is.
But you know, when I first started organizing with him, the first thing he did was he apologized to our generation.
Yes.
And he basically said, you know, we dropped the ball. You know,
Indeed.
I always say, like, we the generation that was really abandoned by the civil rights movement.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we not going to speak like you spoke.
Yes, sir.
We not refined because y'all didn't come and refine us. You know what I'm saying?
No
So
doubt.
we might dress a little certain way. We might use a language that, you know, is offensive to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what? We're going to speak the truth regardless of circumstances. And I feel like we're fearless when it comes to how we bring it in. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Do you feel that America is now fearing the fact that a lot of us brothers and sisters have awakened, and the fact that we have awakened, we're unapologetic. We're not sitting there asking, we're taking. We're not waiting for permission and sitting back and trying to be politically correct. A lot of us are just taking charge. You feel America is afraid of that?
Of course, man. But I mean, America's always historically been afraid of us, man. But now I feel like this generation, how we begin to, especially like, you know, when you see black and brown folk coming together, Asian folk coming together, young white folk coming together, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's our unity, man. So I definitely think that they're afraid. And I think, you know, 2015 is going to be a really interesting year because,
yes, it is. It's going to be.
I feel like the way the movement is going, I mean, come on, we moving to the point where now you got somebody like Diddy saying we need more conscious.
And that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You got
That's
Kobe
crazy.
Bryant.
Yes.
Kobe
Bryant.
Bean Bryant,
yes,
talking about too many young people getting killed by the cops. You know what I'm saying?
You got athletes speaking on.
I'm gonna tell you even deeper. You know who I seen a tweet from talking about Black Lives Matter? Ayatollah Khomeini, brother.
That's crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. And he hashtag Ferguson.
Wow.
Bro. My brothers Rebel Diaz went to Venezuela, man. They said all they was talking about, oh, y'all from America? Ferguson.
Yes, sir.
It's on, man.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to respond.
Yeah. So the movement, because so you flying all over the place from Philly over here. You originally from Philly, right?
Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh.
I'm originally from the Chicago.
Okay.
South
Okay.
Side Chicago.
So
Live in
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
and now you've gone all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Speaking your words, speaking your message. What do you feel the temperature is right now in America?
Well, I did a song, man, after Ferguson called 212 degrees. 212 degrees is the boiling point, so that's the temperature.
Wow.
That's the boiling point, you know what I'm saying? And just imagine, man, like, I put a tweet out last night. I said, who will survive 2015?
Wow.
We know.
Yeah.
It's not a question of if, it's just who.
Yes, sir.
And if we're going to get it on videotape like we did with Tamir Rice, and it did, but then if we're able to really follow up with the organizing that we need to do, so it's already, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's a question of who will survive, man. Who's going to be the next hashtag, man? It's really the question, but more so, you know, we have to continue organizing outside of these kind of big cases,
yes, sir.
Because really we got to get to the point where ain't gonna be no hashtag. Mr. Key said it today, man. If people understand, like, if they, you know, if they raise their hand up against you, there's gonna be a response.
Yes,
they might not
say
take,
that,
you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna definitely,
like, if somebody know he can chump you, take all your stuff, and you ain't gonna do nothing, he gonna do that.
No doubt.
But if he know, like, yo,
he ain't gonna do nothing. And that's why they've been doing it, because we've been sleeping.
You can't mess with that dude. That dude might respond, so that's what we got to do, bro.
Wow. So last thing, I just want to ask one last thing.
Cool.
One last thing. As far as what blacks need to continue, do we need to continue to march, protest, continue to keep putting the pressure, or as I say, don't make them comfortable?
I definitely think we should do that. We also need to begin to unilaterally take our money out of these big corporations and spend our money with our people. You know, that Blackout Black Friday, and you know, my sister Rahel did the Not a Dime movement.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? My brother Fahim on the West Coast did Blackout Black Friday.
That was real.
Black Friday sells down 11%, you know what I'm saying? Or $11 billion.
Yes.
So that's the type of stuff that we need to continue to do. Let's put economic pressure on them. Let's take that money, that 11 billion, and invest in our own businesses and in our own communities. And then let's get real about it, you know what I'm saying? And then we also have to deal with the internal issue in our community, which is us, you know what I'm saying? You know, robbing, stealing, and killing one another. And so we gotta deal with that as well, and that's what we gotta be doing, man.
Unite.
We just met with Minister Farrakhan. You know, he met with a lot of the young activists all around the country. Met at his home for over 4 hours, and they told us we gotta fight a war on 2 fronts. We gotta deal with what the police brutality is, but we also gotta deal with peace in our own community. And then that economic piece is the third piece that we really gotta make happen.
Indeed. Peace, King.
Peace, my brother. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Don't connect.
I'm coming to Sacktown soon.
Hey, man, you hear that? He's coming, Kings. You gonna flex.
Peace.
You gotta.
Appreciate it, man.